Shalom. Before I start this lesson, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakodash, and I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, of whom I learned this 100% truth from. This is the last episode in the series of Black Mirror. There's only 5 episodes in this this last production they've done, and the first 2 were okay. The third one I was personally not able to finish. Maybe one day I will be. I could kind of see the direction of where that one was going, and it was for me it was a little too offensive, a little too disturbing. And so I didn't even finish watching the third one. And then the fourth one was pretty cool, and then this last one was intense. And I began communicating with some of the brothers in public chat about it, and neither one of them had watched it yet, but one of them had said the elder apostle Gabar had done a commentary on another brother's lesson on it. So I'm going to try to play some of that. This is a short clip that I found on YouTube. I speeded it up. Hopefully I don't get a strike. This is pretty much the last ending of the scene, and this is when I got my understanding. I was watching it the whole time, and it was really cool, and I wasn't getting anything out of it until the very last minute of the entire show, and then it hit me, and then I kind of got shook. I got really shook, actually. What you are seeing right here, this man on the right hand side is supposed to be a demon, and this woman on his right hand side is supposed to be just some random chick. But come to find out, actually he is actually a representation of who Yahushai is, and she's a representation of the elect. She gets a hold of a talisman, accidentally stumbles across it. She cuts herself, her blood touches the talisman, and that's what supposedly activates it. All that's just a bunch of smoke screens. He then appears in his true form, which is scary and dark, and he's telling her, I'm going to take the shape of someone that you find attractive. And she has to invite him in. So she invites him in, and he comes in this guy's form. And this guy, he is, hold on real quick. Let me stop the video, and I'm going to pull up the video that I'm talking about. He's a representation. He's a guy that's the lead singer in a band from the 70s. And this is who he is. I'm going to pull it up. Okay, so this is the band that the guy is a lead singer in. The name of the band is called Bonnie M. And in the movie, the song that she's watching is Rah Rah Rasputin, I guess. But this is the same group that sang the song The Rivers of Babylon. And you can see the lyrics right there. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down, yea, we wept when we remembered Zion. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down, yea, we wept when we remembered Zion. So this is key, because you don't even think this. You're watching the whole movie and you're distracted with the whole idea of him being supposedly a demon. She's got to do 3 sacrifices that stops the apocalypse. Well, you notice as the movie goes on, she's the only melanated person in the whole movie, and including him, but nobody can see him. Everyone else is Edomites. And so all the so-called victims are Edomites. Every single one of them that gets killed, he shows her a vision, a prophecy of how bad they were, because in the beginning she's very scared, she's timid, she's uncoordinated, she doesn't know how to do this, but in order to save the world, she's got to kill these 3. See the point? And so you see this melanated woman having these fantasies throughout the video of taking out vengeance on these people who are treating her like crap. And for the first half of the movie, it's kind of comical. You don't even see the significance. I was just like, wow, it's kind of trippy. And then halfway through the movie, the main Edomite is revealed by revealing himself, or the Most High reveals himself, and then she sets out to want to destroy him. It's really intense. There's a lot of precepts, but at the end, I want to get back to where I was at with this video right here. This is when I saw it. When I saw what I saw, hold on real quick. I got it on speed. Let me see. That scene where they're walking right here.
Singer of Boney M, and in this video we'll be taking a deep dive into its ending, a ton of Black Mirror Easter eggs, and making sure to explore what would happen if you were haunted by the lead singer of Boney M, and in this video we'll be taking a deep dive into its ending, a ton.
So right here is when they're talking, so pretty much throughout the movie, she's getting stronger and stronger, or she's getting more used to killing. She's getting less, she's not getting as sick as much, and towards the end, when she sees this guy right here, this is the main Edomite. This guy is the representation of Amalek and Esau. But you don't realize it until halfway into the movie, when he's sitting down and he's getting his shoes changed by this Edomite girl that's an antagonist to the girl in the movie. His voice changes because he's talking about running for president or for mayor, and his voice changes and tells the girl in a very, very authoritative, very violent way, look at me, look me in my eyes. And then he says, you know who I am. You know what I will do when I get in the office, or something like that. Will you vote for me? And then she says, yes, I will vote for you. Well, they pan to the side, and the girl, the melanated woman, the one who's a representation of the elect, she's watching this, and then she tells the so-called demon guy, hey, you said I can kill anybody, right? It doesn't matter who it is. And he says, yes. And he says, well, I want to kill him. And then the demon dude starts to back up saying, well, you can't necessarily kill him because he's responsible in the future for a whole lot of deaths. And they, when he says they, he's talking about the left side. He's talking about the left-hand sided Alahayim. They are happy with him, or they are pleased. They won't be pleased if you kill him, because he's going to grow up and become some major harbinger of death in the future. And then she's like, show me his future. And he's hesitating, and then finally he gives her a download of the prophecies of who this guy is going to be. And pretty much it's like Ezra. It's like second Ezra's, Daniel, the Revelation. It's all the prophecies in one download. And then she's like, oh hell no, I got to kill this guy. And he's like, well, you can't. And that goes into the whole, our part in this battle, in this war, is we prophesy, right? We can't physically touch Esau. We prophesy and we usher in Yahushua coming in, and Yahushua does all the physical stuff, right? So let me see, what's that prophecy? It is, hold on real quick, I have it right here, Jeremiah 5:14. Wherefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh, God of hosts, because ye speak this word, behold, I will make thy words in thy mouth fire, and this people wood, and it shall devour them. That's our part. We stand in the gates. We lift up these messages, these lessons on the internet, on the unicorn. Other people hear them. We're declaring the words of prophecy into the atmosphere, into the firmament, and it's releasing fire all over the place. And so that's what was happening every time this girl killed someone. So in the movie, without understanding, you see a girl that's sacrificing these people with this demon. Yet the demon isn't a demon, and the girl's not a girl, and these people aren't just random people. Those sacrifices are a symbolic of the prophets releasing these lessons, the understanding, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of this truth into the atmosphere, into the internet, out in the public square, in the gates, and people that are waking up, the elect that are waking up, and Esau getting his judgment. That's what's happening. So I want to see if I can pull up, hold on real quick, I'm going to try to see if I can pull up Elder Apostle Gabar's lesson on this. There's a couple of things I want to point out. Hold on real fast.
Look at some examples of predictive programming, or at least one example. Let's get back to, bear with me for a minute.
So this is the elder going into the story of how this other brother in GMS is breaking down how this is predictive programming, and he does a really awesome job at pointing out World War III and what the elite are saying, what the wicked are saying through this movie. This is awesome, but how it ties into the marriage of the marriage supper of the Lamb with the elect and Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh, when all this is also going on. This is why I'm bringing this up.
Again, at its best, right?
Now, the headline you see here on the Daily Mirror, which I'm going to let Yahweh Kanan explain it. He does a far better job than I could. Okay, he's going to explain it. The Daily Mirror article that you see here is an example of predictive programming. Let's check it out.
In this episode of Black Mirror, which was just released, season 6 just came out 3 or 4 days ago. episode is called Demon 79. Alright? It's the last of the 6 episodes in season 6. Or the 5 episodes in season 6. So, they're showing you predictive programming, right? Which we should all know what that means by now. Predictive programming, which we are seeing in this episode regarding the War of Armageddon. Regarding the War of Armageddon, we are seeing this predictive programming in full motion in this episode. So why do I say that?
Now pay attention. Yawakan is going to explain why he calls this example here from the TV show Black Mirror, why he calls it predictive programming.
Okay. The newspaper that you see on the screen is one of the biggest newspapers in the United Kingdom. This is like the New York Post, or you can even say the New York Post, or the New York, what's the other one? You've got the New York Post, there's another one. This paper is sold all over England, basically. This is a national newspaper, the Daily Mirror. Now, this particular Black Mirror episode is called Demon 79. Because it's based on the year 1979. That's why it's called Demon 79. So, who you see on the screen here is a police officer reading a newspaper while he's in the laboratory, right? And as you can see on the front page of the newspaper, what does it say? It says, as clashes in the Gulf intensify, Russia, no backing down. I say again, look on the front of the newspaper, the headline. It says, as clashes in the Gulf intensify, Russia, no backing down. So we know that the War of Armageddon is going to take place in the Gulf, in the Middle East.
That's right.
In what the Most High has referred to as the Valley of Jehoshaphat.
Right. And you can find that in the book of Joel, the 3rd chapter, where it speaks about multitudes in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, which is known today as the Persian Gulf.
Okay, now I'm going to fast forward it to one more point in this video. Then I want to tie in, and he right here, he does a really good job at, he's pulling this screen up right here to prove that back in the 70s, back in 1979, there were no newspaper coverings in 1979 every month that says what this movie says. So he's proving that they specifically made that cover about Russia for this movie, that it wasn't something that was reported back in 1979. He does a really good job, man. This I strongly suggest anyone that hasn't seen this lesson that the elder does to watch it. It's awesome. Okay, so right here, now they're going back into, now this is when the bombs are hitting. This is at the end of the movie when the young lady, who is a type and shadow of the elect, I didn't get it until after this part. She's telling them that she basically failed. She killed 2 of the 3 people. She was in process of killing the main Edomite guy when this cop that's right here standing in the brown suit to the left or to the right, he was able to stop her, and she begins confessing that she's failed. But she's not confessing to him. She's confessing to the guy that's playing the demon, who's actually really Yahushai. So they take her into custody, and she's telling this girl and this guy in the center the whole story, and they're like, she's completely crazy, right? So they think she's crazy, and so the clock strikes 12, and she's like holding her head, waiting for an explosion, and then nothing happens. Well, then these 2 walk out, and then that's when they see the destruction taking place. Basically, you're watching the destruction of Esau. The way the video is making it sound like it's the destruction of the whole planet, but that's the destruction of Esau. Well, while this is happening in the other room, the camera pans to the other room, and that guy, the guy that's playing the demon, who's actually Yahushai, is saying, dang, because earlier in the movie he said, if we fail, I'm going to get thrown into oblivion, darkness forever. So he comes back to her, and she's looking at him like, I failed. And he says, well, I've been reading the law, and there's nothing in the law that states a human being can't come with me. And he looks at her, and he basically is asking her to marry him. Will you go with me where I'm going. And she says, that's oblivion. And she's smiling. And he looks at her with this excitement and it's kind of like a romantic look, like, yes. And she's like, yeah, you know, I'll go with you. And then it pans to this part. Well, let me show you the destruction first. Hold on.
Can you see that? Those are nuclear missiles coming through the sky, striking. What we are looking at is obviously England, right? Places in England. Those are atomic bombs that are hitting their targets. We'll go back a little bit more. Let's see. Can you see the missiles? These are the missiles flying through the sky.
So Russia is not only going to attack Israel, Russia is also going to attack America and England. Why? Because America came out of England. When you read about the 7 heads and then you read about the 8th head, and the 8th head came out of one of the 7, England or America came out of England. America.
Okay, so my point is, with the destruction, with the atomic bombs, is also at the same time the beaming up, right? The catching away into the clouds of the elect, the hopeful elect, which is what? That's the marriage supper of the Lamb. That's the new bodies. That's the crowning. And all those precepts. I want to fast forward in this video if I can. This is, so the whole movie, you're watching this, and then it wasn't until the end when the guy that's playing the demon that I realized was Yahushai, and the girl that's playing the girl, she's basically a type and shadow of the elect. Let me see. They don't show it here. That's right. In this video, that's right. I was hoping that he would show it because he was showing all this other stuff, and I was like, wait a minute, that last part also it ties in. So let me pull up the other video that I have. I got to change the speed so I don't get a copyright strike. But this is what it wasn't until it wasn't until I saw this. Hold on, let me get this commercial out the way. Okay, so now I got the other video uploaded, but that guy was doing such a good job. The elder was doing such a good job breaking down that guy's video. But when I was watching this last night, what the Spirit showed me, hold on, I got this guy driving by. The Spirit showed me when this guy was walking out, hold on real quick, when he was walking out with this girl right here.
Here we go. Wash your d***s. The apocalypse is right around the corner with Black Mirror's final episode of Season 6. Demon 79 explores what would happen if you were haunted by the lead singer of Boney M, and in this video we'll be taking a deep dive into its ending, a ton of Black Mirror in the corner with Black Mirror's final episode of Season 6. Demon 79 explores what would happen if you were haunted by the lead singer of Boney M, and in this video we'll be taking
this part right here. It was at this moment that the Spirit showed me, oh my gosh, this whole time, that is Yahushai. He's not a demon. That's the covering, that's the camouflage, that's the dark saying, or the way that Esau hid it. He's not a demon, he's not working for Satan, he's actually Yahushai, and she is a type and shadow of the elect. And the entire movie was Yahushai developing, showing prophecy, unlocking prophecy, and making skillful the elect with his relationship, in direct accordance with his relationship with the elect, because he was telling her everything. And then by the time in the movie, she's like, tell me about Esau. She doesn't say Esau, tell me about him. You know things. That's that's us crying out to the Most High to give us wisdom. And so this whole time these two are getting closer and closer because of the work, because of the ministry. The whole movie is not even romantic. There's nothing sexual. There's nothing like that through the whole movie. The whole movie, these two are focused on the labor, on the work, which is what? She's got to sacrifice. She's got to kill these Edomites that you don't even realize what's going on until the end. All her victims, all the people who die in this movie are all Edomites. They're white. And the perpetrator, or the quote unquote villain, is a melanated group. This man and this woman. And no one's really looking at the woman like she's a criminal. The police officer he's on her tail towards the end, But his interactions with her is that you would think that she's like his daughter or something. The way that he's acting with her, he's showing all this compassion. It's basically like role reversal. The same way you see how Esau today gets away with everything. And no matter what he does, they humanize him. And, you know, he went to school and was a bully. That's why or somebody bullied him. That's why he grew up and shot everybody. And then when Jake does something, oh, he's an animal. He was arrested in first grade for having one piece of a joint, and that's why he grew up to be such an animal. It's all the other way around in this movie, man. So when they were walking out right here is when the Spirit showed me, oh my gosh, that is Yahweh Shai walking next to his wife, or the comely woman, or the daughter of Zion, the hopeful elect. That's who she is. And as they are walking out this destruction, they're walking into a relationship that's going to go into eternity, into the so-called abyss, which is actually the kingdom of heaven, ruled by Yahweh on the throne of David. That's where they're headed right now, as Esau's kingdom is being destroyed. And these are the precepts that I got. So let me pull up these precepts. Let me see, to back up some of what I'm saying. So I saw this and I was like, oh man, that's what this is. So you got all these right here. You got all these precepts. So as we are going up into the chariots, when this is happening, what's happening? We're getting our new bodies. That's the new covenant, right? That's the blood of Yahweh Shai, what he purchased for us to get the new bodies, that has the laws, statutes, and commandments written into our inward parts. 2 Ezra 2:11. Their glory also will I take unto me, and give these the everlasting tabernacles which I had prepared for them. 1 Corinthians. And so it is written, the first Adam was made a living soul, and last Adam was made a quickening spirit. Yahweh Shai has got he's got his glorified body. 1 Corinthians 15:48. As is the earthly, such are they also that are earthly, and as is the heavenly, such are they also that are heavenly. 49. And as we have borne the image of the earthly, we shall also bear the image of the heavenly. This is when we get changed. 51. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. 52. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trump shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. 53. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. And then this is your 2 Ezra. This is going in. So this is I believe this is the vision. Hold on real quick. So this is a vision that the angel gave to Ezra in 2 Ezra. And look at this. Arise up and stand. Behold, the number of those that be sealed in the feast of the Lord, which are departed from the shadow of the world, and have received glorious garments of the Lord. This is all connected simultaneously to the destruction of Esau Edom, when it's happening with the fire, with the thermonuclear fire. Take thy number, O Zion, and shut up those of thine that are clothed in white, which have fulfilled the law of the Lord. The number of thy children whom thou longest for is fulfilled. Beseech the power of the Lord, that thy people which have been called from the beginning may be hallowed. I, Ezra, saw upon Mount Zion a great people whom I could not number, and they all praise the Lord with songs. That's your 144,000 chosen, along with the remainder of the 1/3 elect, holding their palms in the book of Revelations. That's the same scene right here. Okay? It's the same thing. And in the midst of them, there was a young man of a high stature. This is Yahweh Shai, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns. This is us getting our new bodies on the chariot. I believe that's what this is, man. It isn't just us getting like an actual crown. We're being crowned with the new body, with the laws, statutes, commandments within our inward parts, with the name of Yahweh permanently written on our foreheads and on our bodies. Yahweh Shai, all that stuff. And was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These are they that have put off the mortal clothing, and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of the power of Yahweh the Most High, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Now are they crowned and received palms. Then said I unto the angel, what young person is it that crowneth them and giveth them palms in their hands? And he answered and said unto me, it is the Son of God. This is Yahushua, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so swiftly for the name of Yahweh. And I've got it in bold right here. So this is also Revelations 19. This is and the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the signs shall happen when I showed thee before, and thou and then shall my Son be declared, whom thou sawest, as a man ascending. And then we go into I believe I pulled up, there's a second, I think it's right here. And I heard as it were the voice of a great multitude, and as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of mighty thundering, saying, Hallelujah, for the Lord God omnipotent reigneth. Let us be glad and rejoice and give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife hath made herself ready. And this is what I saw when I saw this part right here. Hold on real quick. Let me see.
What would happen if you were haunted by the lead singer of Boney M? And in this video, we'll be taking a deep dive into its ending, a ton of Black Mirror Easter eggs, and making sure to eat. What would happen if you were haunted by the lead singer of Boney M? And in this video, we'll be taking a deep dive into it.
Right here. I saw all of that. When they were walking, all those precepts hit me, and I was just like, oh my gosh. This guy, one more time and I'll end the lesson, this guy that he's portraying in the movie is the lead singer of a 70s band. Now, the song they're using isn't the song that I'm talking about. It's the song in the movie is Rah Rah Rasputin. But when I looked it up, I was like, wait, this is the same band. This same band made this. They made this same band, okay, Rivers of Babylon. There's like, this thing's at like freaking 300 million views on the internet, okay? Psalms 137:1, by the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down, yea, we wept when we remembered Zion. Okay, so this band is the group of people who made that psalm famous in the earth. They just so happen to be Jakes as well, and yet they're also the band in this movie that this girl is attracted to. Who's she a symbol of? She's a symbol of the elect.
It's ending, a ton of Black Mirror Easter eggs, and making sure to eat my lunch. And of course, what would happen if you were haunted by the lead singer of Boney M? And in this video, we'll be taking it.
She's a representation of the elect, and this is Yahushua. And it's no secret or it's no accident that they use that band as him. He's supposed to be a representation of the lead singer of that band. So it's not an accident that they're using the lead singer of a band who made that precept go viral back in the 70s, and they're showing you Esau, and they're showing you the destruction of Esau, but they're doing it in a coded way. This all of this is about, it's all prophecy on the left-hand side, and here we are breaking it down and bringing it back on the right-hand side. I hope this was edifying. I know this was really jagged. I am not doing this justice compared to how it came into me last night. Last night I was weeping and I was just like, oh, Yahushua, oh my God. You know, just I had my hands in the air. I had to take a drive and I had to process it. I was like a little kid last night, man, because it shook me. I was just like, oh my gosh, man. I'm not doing it justice, but those of you who are mature, you hear what I'm attempting to try to say. The marriage of the supper of the Lamb is connected simultaneously to the destruction of the daughter of Babylon. We are rejoicing up in the chariots, and we're not just sitting around only rejoicing. There is a ceremony. There's a marriage supper also going on. We're being crowned. The hopeful elect is being crowned, and they're getting their new bodies, and all the completion of all the labors that Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua has done with the elect is taking place on those chariots before they are released back down in the earth to then subdue the earth. So this is not just the bombs, it's also the marriage. I hope this lesson is edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakodash. And I want to give double honors and thanks to the elders and apostles of the great millstone and the men that are under them, of whom I learned from. Tawada and Shalom.